Hello again, everybody. It's Harry Boxer, the Tactical Trader at TheTechTrader.com. It's Wednesday, May the 10th. But we had a pretty strong rally, a very strong rally in the afternoon on Wall Street after a morning dip. Markets finished on the upside despite the late pullback. Nevertheless, a lot of stocks we follow had good days today, and here's a couple dozen of them. We're starting off with CarGurus CARG, which came out of a base, consolidated, pulled back in a very orderly retrace to test the breakout point earlier this month, not in fact last week. 1534, and today spiked up to 2012, up 244 or 15% as volume increased to 4.6 million. That's big volume for that stock. Looks to me like the stock has definitely turned around, based out, and now ready to advance, targeting 22.3 and 26. CELH, the beverage company with a big earnings report, exploded and broke out and ran up 21.88 or 20.4%. Although it finished at 129, the high was 134.50. Nevertheless, it looks to me like an extension now can be had in the mid-40s, maybe low to mid-50s. CLSK broke out of a base, pulled back in a three-wave corrective falling wedge, and then coming back on strong here as it's gone from 340 to about 512 in the last week or so, and looks ready to break out and go to the next level, which would be about 6.75 and then 8. COMP, after a big decline, long base pattern, triple bottom, exploded in the last week or so from about the 208 range to get up to almost 4 today, 395, 85 close. Very strong surge up, and at this point I'm looking for an extension to test this double top around 5. CRISPR, one of our swing trades, doing great. You can see the 5-day advance is taking, or 6-day advance is taking us from 47.5 to 71.20. Big move. 25 points nearly, and doesn't look done yet because today's action broke it out across the double top, and now it may be headed for a test, I think, probably about, I would have to say, 75. Beyond that, we're looking at 85. Carvana, with a long decline, exploded in January, February, pulled back, consolidated, and based out. The last 4 or 5 days broke out above the moving averages with a gap, and has now extended for 4 days in a row beyond that. The next target is 17.5 in 2021. EXAS, after a 4-month consolidation following a 5-wave advance, the stock has now had a breakaway gap today, and now I'm looking for a move into the mid-80s and mid-90s. GH, Guardian Health had a long decline, including a long falling wedge that had popped out of today, especially jumping from 24.47 to 28.38, finishing 27.50 up 351, nearly a 15% gain, but a clear breakout. Ahead we have 29.75, 30, and then 32 as your targets. Another falling wedge from GRWG, and then a mini inverse head and shoulders exploded today from 381 to 495, finished 475 up 105, 28% gain, 3.75 million. Looks to me like the extension could take it to 5.75 and then 6.75. LABU is rocking it, now up from 520 to about 728 today in the last 8 days or so, and it's coming up towards the key overhead resistance around 770. We get through that, you're looking at 9. LI in the Chinese automotive group with a good earnings report exploded today, 344, 14%, trading 28.6 million. That's the biggest volume since November when it broke out, so I'm looking for an extension. 31.32 net. Mankind, also in a falling wedge, popped out and across declining tops, lines, and moving averages, and finished near resistance. The stock at 445 was up 65 cents or 17%. We get through here, we're looking for 5 and 5.75. NARB came out of a base here, formed a really tight wedge, and has been up for 3 of the last 4 days, with today's advance adding another 15%. Looks awfully good for a move that I think can take it into the 12 to 14 zone. OMER popped out of a falling wedge as well. This one spiked up 22% or $1.09 to 609. Your next target is 7.5. Redfin came out after a basing, breaking out and forming a flag, and then popped from the larger coil, but broke out 2 days ago. A little bit of a consolidation for a couple of days, and today it resumed the advance by jumping in $1.47 or 15% on 6 million. Looks good for a month run to 13 in my opinion. TBLA, also a large falling wedge with a breakaway move, and today exploding 27.6% from 245 to 315, finishing 291. There was a gap in there as well. Your next target is 3.5, 4.25. TCRX with an explosive move yesterday that saw it go from literally from 2.5 all the way up to 6, then pull back down this morning to 390, but finished at 475 net, up 40% or $1.35 today. My target now is 6.5. Thread up swing trade popped 2 days ago, stalled yesterday, and today it resumed the advance. I'm now looking for an extension to 4 and 4.75. That's a tech trader swing. Tgtx, another tech trader swing, popped and it continues to move, but at this point, multiple waves is up near the key resistance area in the 35 area, but I think the extension could take it to 39.40. Stay tuned, we'll find out. Upstart, big breakaway gap on strong report today. The stock's now been up for 6 days in a row with a breakaway gap today. 22.5 and 27.5 are your next targets. XMTR, big pop today, exploded late in the day and ran from 1298 to 1929 and finished at 1866, up 528. That's nearly a 40% gain. It looks like it can extend at this point to the gap at around 23 and then beyond that to 26. And finally, Zscaler, also a large declining pattern with a falling wedge as well. Huge breakaway gap 2 days ago. Nice extension on it. We're at the lateral price resistance and the decline top line. So watch this one carefully, because if we can get this one up through today's high of at 120, I'm looking for 130 and 140 for your follow-up targets. And that's it for tonight, everybody. Have a great evening.